Assalamu alaikum. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah, who came to us in the persons of Master Fard Muhammad. And I bear witness that the most honorable Elijah Muhammad is indeed thine exalted Christ. And I furthermore indeed bear witness that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is our divine reminder, leader, teacher, and guide. I greet you all in the name, greeted words of peace and paradise of Assalamu alaikum. On behalf of Brother Albert Muhammad and the Let Us Make Man family, as always, family, we like to thank you all for taking the time to read our posts, click on and watch our videos, support our efforts and our cause in the plight of the black community on behalf of the Let Us Make Man family. I want to take a brief moment of your time to address an issue that has been long bearing on our community, on our people, and that is who is to be held accountable for the continuous police shootings and killings of African Americans here in America. Just recently, in the city of Columbus, Ohio, a young black male was just shot down by the police. Another situation that appears to continuously keep happening. Now, in this particular situation, the first thing the media did was put out the information in a sense of saying robbery suspect shot and killed by police. 13-year-old robbery suspect. Listen to the headlines, because the headlines already give leeway to the officer that did the shooting. Then it said that he had a BB gun, or he was pulling a BB gun out of his waist. And this is what caused the officer to shoot, to kill. He didn't shot one shot. He shot multiple shots. Meaning his every intention was to kill and not literally disarm. However, we're not surprised at all, because we forewarned you that until our people unite and come together, we will continue to see these situations. And they're not going to stop. Right? Well, let's just analyze a few things. Oftentimes, we find ourselves in denial, denying the fact that we are under a judicial system that suppresses us and will continue to suppress us until we figure out the proper way to make it work for us. Until we're able to separate and do for self and go on our own and build a society that is suitable for our living. We're subjected to the laws that's governed within this governed body. Now, listen to this real closely. The average individual, when you apply for employment in any establishment, be it government agency, private industry, or private corporation, private company, you have to go through a process. It's called an application process. This is the same process that police officers have to go through once they come through the police academy. And 90% of the states give them approximately 12 months to sustain a job in that field that they just graduated out of, meaning the police academy. Right? So when you apply for a job and you go through the application process, you're being interviewed by individuals that work for that company, corporation, or entity that you're applying for. The same thing applies to a police officer when they apply for a job in a city or a state, particularly a city, right? Because what they're applying for is to work as a public servant. See? And their obligation working as a public servant is to protect and serve. That's the language they use. And that's what they do in certain communities, certain cities, certain states. Hear me good on this one. When a police officer put in an application, his or her application is being reviewed, guess by who? Your city mayor and your local council members. They are the ones that hire and approve the hiring of a particular police officer when they apply for the job. So guess who we hold accountable? You're right. Your mayor and your city council. Now, I know some of you may say, well, brother, that's small. Or brother, we need to do something better than that. You're not going to do nothing better than that, because keep in mind, you're dealing with their judicial system and they're not going to override one another. Have we not learned yet? They stick together. State, city, state, federal. It's all one unit. There's an old cliche or old saying that this country has. We the people, for the people, by the people. Is that right? Okay. If that is to be true, then the people makes the decisions. So when a police officer get caught up or uses his or her firearm, they have to go through some extenuating process or investigations or things of that nature, right? And I'm trying to make sure I get this across to you as clear and as best as possible. So the mayor and the city council is obligated to determine what moves to make while they're going through that investigation. Now, because of their unions, PBA, Police Beneficent Associations, police unions, they've already put clauses in their contracts which simply protects them. If an incident should occur and they should have to use their firearm while they're under investigation, that they're being paid by tax dollars until investigation is done. 98% of the investigations, when it comes down to the black community, they always win. It's because we don't put the pressure in the right direction. We don't apply the pressure on the right sources or people, right? So think about what I'm saying, family. Your mayor, no matter what city or state you're in, has the authority and the power, along with the city council, to suspend this police officer without pay until further investigations. Just as I stated earlier, when you apply for a job, and if you should get the job, and if you violate policies and procedures, actions are being taken against you until further investigations, up to and including and terminations. Is that right? Well, the same laws in effect should apply to police officers, city mayors, and city councils. members. These are the people that campaign under the midst of a firestorm, such as presidential candidacies and things of that nature. While the heat is running, these are the people that apply for these positions that you think the least of. The mayor, the city council. They are the bosses of the police department. They're the ones who make the decisions to do whatever it takes to assure the community that they're safe. So if you have a mayor or a city council that refuses to do their job, then by right, you can exercise your power as the people to remove these people. Now, this is a process. It doesn't happen overnight. But until we decide to step up and begin to follow the process and move on the process and make effective change and decide that if we're going to put anybody in any kind of position, we need to know who they are, what their intentions is, what their motives is. When this young kid was shot in Columbus just a week ago, multiple times, he had a BB gun. They got a call. There was a robbery that took place. He had a BB gun along with 4 other people that he was with. They ran, they spurted, stopped. He attempted to pull the BB gun out to let the officer know that it wasn't a real gun. But as soon as the officer saw the gun, he just started shooting. Now he has a justifiable reason for it because the BB gun looked like the replica gun of the guns that the officer carried in that city. So, of course, you know there will be no charges. And another mother is left to bury her child. Right? And the city officials, along with the police chief, comes out and say, this is the reason, with a picture of the BB gun why the officer fired in fear of his life. No body cam to show us that his life was actually being jeopardized. Just hearsay. Again, their word against the victims. And thus far, the family has been suppressed by the media and the police department to their side of what took place. Our goal in this particular session is to get our people to understand that despite how angry we are, how pissed off we are, how upset we are, we have to take charge of our posts. We have to take charge of our community. We have to rid our community not only of the rogue police, but the mayors and the city council members that hire these people and back and protect these people along with the police unions. Now listen to this clearly. In a post we put up as of yesterday, the newly elected president for the NRA, National Rifles Association, made a statement, a clear statement. Not only did he say that sooner or later we will go back to owning colored people, but he also said that he will be on the front lines to make sure his grandchildren do not have to answer to black people, period. This is 2016. So while we're busy fighting and bickering with one another about who's right and who's wrong, who religious theologies and ideology is more closer to right and more than the other, these people are plotting our demise as a people, as a race of people in a particular country. Here's the newly elected president for the NRA. Do you understand the close association that the NRA, the PBA, the Police Beneficent Association, and all these, do you understand the ties that these people have together? Do you understand the ties of the CIA, the FBI, and the sheriff department, all these police agencies? Do you understand the ties that these people have together? Do you understand what we're really up against? Our option at this point is to take charge of our post. Master their social equality, master their laws, and make their laws apply to us by removing the wicked people that they have in position and replacing them with people that have our best interests at hand. And some of you may feel like this will take a while, and it may take a while or even longer than that. It is a process. And it's not for me and you to see, but it's for me and you to get established and get started so our grandchildren and their children will have a chance of survival. So if you are one who has just recently accepted a newborn in your family, be it your child, your grandchild, your niece, your nephew, know for a surety, unless we fight this good fight, that child doesn't stand a chance in this social equality that this government has set up at this point. Now, the president for the NRA, right, had the audacity to make such a statement, which is okay because it clearly tells us what we really up against. However, they put an NRA association together for their people. We can put one together for ours. We don't have to join on to what these Caucasians and these crackers continue to put together when they don't really want us. We continue to force ourselves in their world and they don't want us. It's time that we separate. We master the laws and make it work for us. If you're in a city or in a state, and you have a mayor and a city council body that is not working for the betterment of the people of that community, they can be removed by the people. But it has to go through the process. So you got to learn the process. You have to master the process in order to make effective change. Because they're used to us continuously marching, preaching, rioting. They're prepared for all that. What they're not used to is when we mobilize and use our brains to make it work. To force them out of positions, out of the city council office, out of the mayor's office, out of the board of freeholder offices, and put people in these positions that have our better interests at hand, and stop raising our children for sport and play and begin to raise our children to take charge of our communities. This is what we have to do. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan taught us, and he stated not only to the nation of Islam, but to the world, particularly Black America, the time for preaching is over. Done. We have to get in the streets. We have to mobilize. And we have to master their social equality to make it work for us. This is what was going to make an effective change. Not us going backwards and forth with each other. Not us on social media debating and arguing over senseless things, but for us to take the brilliance that we have, brothers and sisters, come together and not worry about who's going to shine, but worry about what we're going to do to make an effective change for our future generations. This young kid that was shot down in Columbus, Ohio, just a week ago, shot multiple times by the police because he had a BB gun. These are guns that is marketed and sold throughout America by toy companies, corporations, Mattel, and all of those people. But yet and all, there's a mass genocide going on, and American police and law enforcement is the major key players. Right? But yet and all, when we come before you, meaning the Nation of Islam and those who have consciousness, come before you and strive to provide you with the best of information, there's always defect in it. Lack of trust. Lack of belief. I don't ask you to follow me or take my word. Do the research in your respective city, in your respective state. Ask yourself a question. Do you know who your mayor is? Do you know anything about your mayor? Do you know who your city council members is? Do you know anything about your city council members? Do you know who your governor is? Do you know anything about your governor? These are the people that makes the decisions in your local and your state area before it goes to federal. These are the people that put up the defense with your tax dollars to defend police officers, especially the road police officers, while off duty or under investigation. What we have to do, family, is we have to remove these people from amongst our social equality. We have to begin to raise our children in a different direction. Sport and play is over. Go read the Message to the Black Man when the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught about what the end results is of sport and play. How it dehumanizes a nation of people, particularly blacks in America. Because all we know, majority of us, not all, let's say 85%, is to do our best to raise our sons and daughters up in sports and play and pray they become successful and a great Michael Jordan or a great Shaquille O'Neal or one of these individuals that saw some sort of success, not depriving them brothers of their success. However, we need to begin to rethink how we raising our children that we stand a chance to survive in a society that's not cut out for us. Because until we make an effective change and make a move, you will see another Tyree out of Columbus, 13 years old, gunned down. I saw a video, 12-year-old white kid got a gun at a school park to the head of another white kid. A real gun. And he's still alive. The police didn't rush to the park and bombard the park and start letting bullets go. Because they know the repercussion of it. In my community, they know what they're going to get away with. Because of the people that back and support them. Right? So I pray Almighty God Allah, I said something of value that our people will really consider. We can be the change and remove these people from our communities, community leadership, mayors, city council, governors. They got to go. While you worrying about Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, these demons are continuously rechanging and revamping laws, state and federal laws that we are forced to live under. And we're continuing to elect people in office because they come around. Some of them wants to be the first black mayor in your city or the first black council member in your city with no agenda for you at all. Only that they are black. And many of us go for it. Would you rather have a first black mayor because he's black, or would you rather have somebody that has the best interest of the people at hand? That's a question you have to ask yourself. How long are we going to continue to be gullible and allow the wrong people in positions of authority? Again, family, I want to thank you for allowing me the time that I took to provide you with a little information pertaining to who's to be held accountable. And at this point, what we need to do is hold our city mayor and councils accountable for the killings that these rogue police officers are doing. And these city council members and mayors should be removed through the process that it takes to vote them out. And replace them with people that have the best interests at hand. And one more thing before I go. The next time you decide to go to a poll and vote, know who you're voting for. And I'm not talking about by faith. Know the history. Know the individual. Check their history. Do to them what they do to you when you apply for a job. Check their background. See if they qualify for the position before you put them in office. Find out who's backing them. Find out who's supporting their campaign. And then you will be able to determine if this person is going to be the best person for the job that he or she is applying for. Thank you for listening. I'll leave you as I came before you. And the nation greeted words of peace and paradise. Assalamu alaikum. Hotep. Peace.